During a transaction, the man discovered something strange. The buyer assembled the weapon 5 seconds faster than him, a professionally trained agent. Even more puzzling, after he secretly misaligned the sniper scope's calibration settings, the buyer could still accurately hit a target 1 kilometer away. This reminded him of the retirement application he had just submitted to the organization a few days ago, and the sudden arrangement of this transaction afterward. Jack was certain this was no coincidence. As he pondered, the other party suddenly handed him the weapon, asking him to fire a shot beside himself to test the silencer's effectiveness. At this moment, Jack had every opportunity to directly eliminate the buyer and prevent future troubles. But he had already conceived a more perfect plan in his mind. The buyer praised the weapon's performance highly. Just as they were about to complete the transaction, Jack suddenly suggested that some components needed improvement. Although this request was somewhat abrupt, the buyer didn't become suspicious, only giving a 3-day grace period. After leaving the transaction site, Jack deliberately kicked his car's front bumper until it broke, then forcefully bent it open. He then drove to an auto repair shop.
Got some damage to my car.
While the owner was focused on fixing cars, he quietly collected various usable parts to implement his upcoming plan. Once home, he immediately began dismantling the pilfered parts. He placed the stolen metal washers on his workbench, repeatedly hammering them until they took the ideal shape. He would use these seemingly useless scraps to meticulously craft a weapon convincing enough to pass as genuine. Next, he precisely cut the stolen steel pipe into 12 segments, assembling them layer by layer with the processed washers. Finally, with a specially made outer casing, a perfect replica silencer was born. To match this silencer, he specifically purchased a second-hand firearm from the black market, completely disassembled it, and reassembled it. On the surface, it looked no different from an ordinary gun, but in reality, he had made subtle adjustments to every component. The crucial step arrived. Jack used a file to flatten the bullet heads, drilled a small hole in each, then carefully injected a few drops of mercury into the holes. Even if these special bullets didn't hit vital organs, the mercury toxin within could kill instantly. 3 days later, the transaction proceeded as scheduled. Just as Jack handed the special bullets to the buyer, the other party suddenly requested another inspection.
I'm just going to the ladies. Wait here.
This request made Jack break out in a cold sweat. He noticed the restaurant waiters all hurriedly retreating to the kitchen. The entire hall suddenly became empty, as if falling into a carefully designed trap. So when the buyer reappeared, Jack quickly slipped the hidden gun into his pocket.
Okay?
I'm fine. You?
Just fine. We won't need your gun.
You never know.
Fortunately, the inspection process went smoothly despite the scare, and the transaction was ultimately completed successfully. Looking at the thick stack of bills in his hand, Jack couldn't help but wonder if he was overthinking things. What he didn't know was that the buyer received a mysterious phone call on the way back.
Hello?
What happened?
There wasn't the opportunity.
Find one.
I'm following him now.
Late at night, Jack hesitated about whether he should confess the truth to the buyer. But what happened next completely dispelled this notion.